What if I told you there's a place where billionaires live above the law, where yachts are so enormous they dwarf city blocks, and where the world's most powerful figures don't hide in bunkers, they hide in plain sight, behind Versace curtains and bulletproof glass? A place where the ultra-wealthy don't just park their money, they disappear into it. Welcome to Monaco, the crown jewel of the French Riviera, a 0.78 square mile paradise where the rich go to vanish, protect, and preserve what matters most: control. Here, scandal doesn't erupt, it evaporates. Wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. And the game of power is played not on public stages, but on private decks of floating palaces. Monaco is a living paradox. It's the most glamorous open secret in the world. Everyone's heard of it. Almost no one really understands it. Today we're not sightseeing, we're breaking in. We're peeling back the luxury like layers of gold foil, revealing what actually happens behind the walls of billion-dollar villas and beneath the decks of nine-figure yachts. From Russian oligarchs to Silicon Valley titans, from royalty to reclusive heiresses, we're exposing how Monaco became the ultimate offshore fortress, a real-life fantasy land for the financial elite, and why they're all here, hiding. Monaco isn't just a country, it's a code, a financial encryption, a geopolitical ghost town designed to let the world's most powerful rewrite the rules of reality. Let's start at the top. The House of Grimaldi has ruled Monaco for over 700 years, but in recent decades, it's become less about monarchy and more about monarchy as brand. Prince Albert II presides over this utopia with grace, but make no mistake, he's the custodian of the world's most valuable illusion, that Monaco is simply a luxury destination, because behind that facade is a fortress. There's no income tax, no wealth tax, no capital gains tax, and no extradition if you play your cards right. It's not just a playground for the rich, it's a bunker wrapped in sunshine. Want residency? Simple. Deposit a few $100,000 into a Monaco bank account, purchase or lease real estate, prove your wealth, but once you're in, you're invisible. Not in the metaphorical sense, literally. There's no public ownership registry for real estate, no mandatory financial disclosures, no easy access for foreign investigators or nosy journalists. You could live in a $200 million penthouse, and no one outside your legal circle would ever know. Now meet the people who use this system best. Sir Philip Green, British retail tycoon, routed a $1.2 billion dividend payment to his wife, Tina Green, a resident of Monaco. Her income tax on that amount? Zero. Perfectly legal. Deeply controversial. Dmitry Rybolovlev, Russian oligarch and owner of AS Monaco Football Club, bought Donald Trump's Palm Beach estate for $95 million. Well above market price. Some say it was just real estate. Others suspect something deeper. A signal, a favor, a quiet deal masked as a loud one. Then there's Tatiana Kasiragi, beer heiress turned princess. Net worth? Estimated at $2 billion. But good luck finding her photo in tabloids. Monaco doesn't do celebrity culture, it does stealth wealth. The Reuben brothers, Simon and David, are worth north of $18 billion. They don't flaunt it. They invest in land, infrastructure, and relationships, many of which wind through Monaco's very tight, very private corridors. And that's just land-based power. Let's move to the water. Monaco's Port Hercule is where money floats, literally. Dilbar, owned by Alisher Usmanov, clocks in at 512 feet, making it the world's largest yacht by volume. It has 2 helipads, a 25-meter indoor pool, and its own diesel-electric power station. It's a floating city and a floating safe room. Eclipse, owned by Roman Abramovich, is 533 feet of armored elegance. It has a missile defense system, an anti-paparazzi laser shield, and its own mini-submarine. Then, there's Lady Mura, once valued at $200 million. Her name is literally written in gold, 24 karat, of course. And Azam, so long, she requires special clearance to dock. Allegedly owned by the royal family of Abu Dhabi. Rumored to have bulletproof meeting rooms, private luxury spas, and real-time encrypted satellite surveillance. These yachts are rarely used for pleasure. They're used for meetings, for negotiations, for escaping jurisdictions and entering new realities. Why rent an office when your yacht can host oil negotiations, political lobbying sessions, or clandestine hedge fund strategies? Many of these vessels are registered under shell companies in the Cayman Islands, Panama, or the Isle of Man. Ownership is buried under 5 or 6 corporate layers. You can spend months trying to trace a yacht's legal identity and still end up with a post office box. And this isn't the exception, it's the rule. Even Monaco's real estate operates like this. Ultra-luxury penthouses are often held through trusts or companies with no human names attached. Shell structures that exist solely to move money in and keep scrutiny out. Sometimes these properties are never lived in, not because they're unwanted, but because they're storage units for capital. You want to know how deep the protection goes? Hotels in Monaco routinely sweep rooms for bugs. Yacht crews sign NDAs that include private jail clauses. Lawyers here operate like digital magicians, encrypting identity, erasing trails, and ensuring deniability. Casinos, sure, they exist, but they're less about gambling and more about gathering. The Casino de Monte Carlo is where old money meets old power, and sometimes where favors are exchanged in plain sight under the guise of entertainment. And then there's security. The Monaco police force is one of the most efficient in Europe, but their job isn't stopping crime, it's preventing exposure. Every square inch of Monaco is watched, but not for shoplifters. The cameras aren't pointed at you, they're pointed at them. And if anyone breaches that line, if a scandal threatens to pierce the silence, action is swift and subtle. Scandals don't erupt in Monaco, they evaporate. Monaco doesn't just offer tax freedom, it offers narrative control. It allows billionaires to script their own versions of reality. And those realities, they're increasingly detached from the rest of the world. You see, Monaco isn't just a haven, it's a model, a prototype of what the ultra-rich are building elsewhere. Enclaves in New Zealand, tech compounds in Hawaii, desert fortresses in Dubai. But none are as refined, as tested, or as perfectly protected as Monaco. This is where billionaires come not just to relax, but to reboot. They come here after political exile, financial ruin, public disgrace. And Monaco, quietly, discreetly, gives them something no courtroom or government can: a reset button. It's the only place where an oil tycoon can anchor beside a deposed prince, share a bottle of vintage Krug, and plan the next phase of influence without a single headline. Monaco's GDP per capita is among the highest in the world. Its debt, virtually non-existent. Its infrastructure, impeccable. Its leadership, untouchable. Because Monaco doesn't just cater to the rich, it depends on them. Its survival strategy is simple: be so useful to the global elite, they'll never let it fall, and in return, Monaco gives them what no democratic society can: silence, safety, sovereignty, a world where laws bend, borders blur, and truth is optional. And while most of us live under the rules, we pay taxes, face consequences, fight to climb, they don't. They build their own ladders, inside places like Monaco. So if you're wondering where all the billionaires went when the world started asking questions, they didn't go into hiding. They came here, to the safest place on earth, to Monaco. If this deep dive into Monaco's billionaire underworld stunned you, smash that like button. Subscribe to Opulent Odyssey for weekly stories from inside the gates of power, wealth, and elite secrecy. And share this video with someone who still thinks the rich play by the same rules. Comment below, if you had $1 billion, would you hide it in Monaco or build your own fortress somewhere else? Until next time, stay questioning, because luxury always comes with a secret.